You've never played World War II the way it was meant to be played, with lumbering tanks dominating the battlefield, crucial supply chains fueling the front lines, being a cog in the machine of colossal combined arms warfare.
What?
Hell Let Loose puts you in the chaos of war.
Oh, fucking hell.
Complete with deep player-controlled vehicles.
I swear. There's something I would try though.
A dynamically evolving front line and crucial platoon-focused gameplay that commands the tide of battle. This is a simulation of war, not an arcade arena shooter. At its core is a unique, resource-based strategic metagame that is easy to learn, but hard to master, and where one player can make all the difference.
Oh, don't bomb it. Fucking hell. I've killed them all, there's no one here. They've got a Gary where all those people are. They don't have one because I stopped the fucking third right by myself.
We lost it.
Okay, I think that's the greatest play ever recorded.
Is it down?
Hello, welcome back to Wild Build Jamming. I hope you're well. This week I want to talk about the players that play Hell Let Loose. What essentially do they want to get from this game? And I just want to clarify a few things about last week's video. It's not about realism or meta or something like that. The real issue with the game as it is that it is broken. Straight up broken. Okay, so let's look at this, right? The barn is the first objective on Saint-Marie-de-Mont. The circle is in the north side of the map, which favours the Americans in terms of just getting to the circle. Because the circle is closer to the American side, they can put their garrisons closer to it, and it takes longer for the Germans to get into that cap circle. And why is that circle so important? Because for each soldier you get into that circle, it represents 3 capture power, whatever you want to call it. So with all these things combined, you're far more likely to take the first cap. But why is it important to take the first cap? And I understand that I'm slightly repeating myself from last week, but I just want to rephrase it in terms of balance. The game is unbalanced, okay?
Okay.
This doesn't matter about competitive, casual, your fucking grandma, I don't care. This concerns all of us that play the game. And I'm just doing it for the benefit of the people that don't understand me or think that I've got some sort of agenda. But what you're looking at now is where you could place your garrison when that first cap is taken. And what you're seeing is the whole team can just spawn on those 2 Garys and keep piling in. And any Germans trying to get to the barn have to get through that pile of shit, and they have to go around the flanks. But the problem is with going around the flanks is you've got garrisons in there that you have to wade through, and those things ping and they're hard to find, and the thing is you could be pushing people back over there as the Germans and doing quite well with your outposts, but the problem is you're not attacking and you're not defending and you're not able to place any garrisons and sort of capture the ground that you're taking. So when I talk about these issues, I'm talking about everyone. It's not just competitive, it's casual players as well. Think about it. Have you played any games recently? Have you found it impossible to capture any points? Or have you lost the middle point and not been able to get back into the game? Unless, perhaps, you've been on the Allies. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but here's some stats that good old C-Dub has put together again from all the competitive matches. And why these stats are important is because they're 2 evenly balanced teams for the most part. And these stats show something really interesting. The Allies have won 29 matches over the Axis' 12. And in all of these matches, the middle point only changed over 8 times. Out of the 8 times the middle cap has changed, the Allies won 7. And why is that? Because the game now channels everyone into certain areas, and especially on the side of the map when you haven't got any way of flanking. All the action is so condensed. into one part, that the team with the best guns and tanks wins. It's as simple as that. So there's a massive balance issue caused by the maps, which is making the faction balancing far worse than it was before update 7. And I cannot stress this enough, this is not an issue to do with casual players and competitive players. The reason why competitive players are annoyed is because they can't win. The game is almost decided in the first 5 minutes. So if you're a casual player and you don't believe anything that I'm saying, go jump in a game, go commander, get on the radio and say, everyone rush to that objective and get in there fast. And just see what happens. You'll win every time. And these issues have been raised by people like C-Dub with those stats, and they've explained it, and Globby said it's down to capping first. And Starlord has pointed out all the things wrong with tanks, and Ninja Pulver has done a 25-page document. Everyone's chipped in and done their part. Then we get given the 4-stage strategy.
In stage 1, we say nothing is going to happen.
Stage 2, we say something may be going to happen, but we should do nothing about it.
In stage 3, we say that maybe we should do something about it, but there's nothing we can do.
Stage 4, we say maybe there was something we could have done, but it's too late now.
And now let's talk about why these changes were made. And I know what you're thinking, I'm not going to go there with this guy. It's really not worth it. I'm not going to say anything about the direct relationship between Team Dix and Black Matter. However, it's undeniable that he is a stakeholder in this game, as we all are. The difference is, he's trying to create a lifestyle brand, which is fine, by the way. It's not a bad thing. Team Dix bring in a lot of people to various games. He represents casual gamers. That's the whole MO of Team Dix, which is fantastic. But I think the problem is that we've just listened to casual gamers in this update 7, and so if you want a little bit of proof of people not liking this update from the get-go, and there's been a lot of backlash that's been just sitting there building up a lot of steam, I'll let Chuck acknowledge it for you.
Overall, I'm a big fan of this update. I think that people don't like change in general. Imagine your grandfather trying to tell him that he needs to get a cell phone. He's like, nah, my landline works fine. I love my rotary phone. I'm not changing. That's pretty much what I look at is going on with people who are complaining 2 days into the new meta. I think with time, people are going to enjoy it. I will also say that the devs are always listening, regardless of how whiny some people are when they cry about change. They do listen, and they're going to take data over the next few weeks of this update and then make adjustments as necessary. But you can't just drop something and expect them to change it right away.
So I hope there's enough data out there for all parties concerned that they can look at it and just agree that the game is broken at the minute, and then we can all just move on. I don't think you understand that you've already created an amazing game that just needed a slight tweak to it. And the weird thing about Update 8 is it's adding more boring stuff to the game, which the competitive community don't care about and the casual people don't want. And for the people that want it because of realism, fuck me, man. Realism kills games. It's something as simple as the size of that crate. That's going to be really difficult to see, and for new players who don't know how to look at their map and how to read it, they're not going to see it, and those garrisons aren't going to get built. And what was the point of changing it? Because you built a box with a wrench. Who cares? At least you could see the box. And what do you do with the box? You build a garrison. What's a garrison? It's a spawn point. It's where you come to when you've died. It's all fucking magic. It's a game. It's not real. We need immersion, not reality. And when you add stuff, I want you to ask whether Jack Frags would do it and understand that it's a part of the game. And why do you think your players want to do it? You've got to at least incentivize them to go do this stuff. Because this so-called competitive community who run all your servers, seed them in the morning, do the admin, do everything, are getting sick of it. Unfortunately, there's no data to show that, but having spoke to these people, I can assure you it's true. Looking forward to Friday. I'll see you next week.